Hello everybody, welcome to the C.E.S. YouTube channel. Again, this is Ellie from C.E.S. Physio Rehab. I hope you all had a wonderful long weekend last week, the Labor Day long weekend. I also took some time off just to had a wonderful long weekend with my families, and here I am today. I'm going to make this new YouTube video because I had a little radio chat with some of you the other week, and a lot of you were interested in the topic that was about trigger finger. So this is what I'm going to be talking about, what I'm going to be sharing with you guys. It's the trigger finger. What is it? And some exercises that I'm going to share with you guys that might help you prevent from getting this condition. But please be mindful if you already have this condition or have symptoms that are like trigger finger or any sort of hands, fingers problems. Please remember that these exercises are not your treatment. You would have to seek help. You would have to go to your therapist and have a more thorough assessment done, so then they can devise you the more appropriate treatment plan to get your problem treated. These exercises are for maintenance purpose only. Okay, so let's get started, and I will first introduce or talk a little bit about trigger finger and what causes it and what are some of the symptoms, and then we will go through a series of exercises. So let's first understand what trigger finger is. Trigger finger is a condition in which one of your fingers gets stuck in a bent position. So your finger may bend or straighten with a snap, just like trigger being pulled and released, hence the term trigger finger. But do you know that trigger finger's medical term is actually known as stenosing tenosynovitis? That is the medical term. And how do people get this, and who gets this? So people whose work or hobbies require a lot of repetitive gripping actions or require a lot of hand usage will oftentimes get this problem because of overuse of their finger tendons. So tendons are the fibrous cords that attach finger muscles to our bones in our hand. And each tendon is actually surrounded by a protective sheath. And when we do a lot of repetitive movements, repetitive motion, which irritates this tendon sheath or the tendons of the fingers, the sheath and the tendons will be inflamed. And over time, with this irritation and inflammation, it will then produce scarring, thickening, and the formation of nodules in our tendons and tendon sheath area, which will impede the normal gliding motion of the tendon through the sheath. And that's why sometimes people say that when they try to bend or try to straighten their fingers, it feels like it's getting stuck or it's not very smooth with their movement. And also sometimes it has like a popping or clicking when they try to bend and then straighten their fingers. You might want to seek medical help or seek a therapist if you do have this type of condition. Let me just tell you guys some of the signs and symptoms of trigger finger that you might want to look for, and just so be mindful that these might be signs that you will have to go to your therapist to seek help. First of all, your finger will become stiff, especially in the morning time when you first wake up. Then you will notice that when you try to bend or straighten your finger, oftentimes there is like a popping or clicking sensation. And also in the palm area at the base of the affected finger, you will find that it's tender to touch, and there might even be a raised area like a bump or like a thickened area that is quite tender when you try to press on it. There would be finger catching or locking that you might notice that the affected finger is catching or locking in that bent position. But if you try to use a little bit of force, it will suddenly pop straight. But when this condition gets worse, it might just be in this bent position, and even if you try using some force to try to straighten it out, it won't straighten. You might have to use your other hand to help straighten out the affected finger. And the worst case scenario is that the finger is just locked up in this bent position, which you're unable to straighten at all. So these are some signs and symptoms that you will look for to see if you might be experiencing trigger finger. So trigger finger, oftentimes you might see it in the thumb or the third and the fourth finger, but it can happen in any fingers. And who are the people that might be at a higher risk of getting this? Aside from people whose work or whose hobbies require a lot of repetitive motions, hand movements, hand gripping actions, actually women are at a higher risk of getting this for some reasons, and also people with diabetes condition or any people who had previous carpal tunnel syndrome surgery might be at a higher risk of getting this. In addition, people who have rheumatoid arthritis are also at a high risk of developing trigger finger. So, after understanding the trigger finger problem, now I am going to show you guys a series of exercises that might be good for helping you relax your hand tendons, your palm muscles, your forearm muscles, just so your hands and your forearms don't get so tired after certain activities. Adequate rest and exercises to your hand, finger, and forearms are very important in preventing you from having this condition. So let me show you now. So there will actually be a series of 6 exercises that I'm going to go through with you guys today. And the first exercise is called the tendon gliding exercise. This exercise helps us glide our finger tendons more smoothly. As an exercise to help relieve any tension that's been built up in our hands and our fingers, tendons, and in our palm area, and also in our forearm area. So let's begin with the first position. The first position is called the straight hand. So you will have your hand straightened out like so, then moving into a hook position like this. So it's almost like a hook, a claw kind of motion. Then you're gonna go into a duck. This is called a duck. It looks like a duck position. Then you're going to make a straight fist, and then you're gonna make a full fist. So this is a series of 5 movements to glide our tendons. Let's review this one more time. First is straight hand, then it's your hook or claw hand, then it's the duck. Then you're gonna make a straight fist, and then you're gonna make a full fist. So you will repeat this series of 5 movements 15 times. One more time. Straight hand, hook or claw hand, duck, straight fist, and then full fist. Okay? So repeat this series of 5 movements 15 times. This is called the tendon gliding exercise. Now the second exercise is to stretch out our fingers. It's called the extension stretch. So you're pretty much bending your finger into an extended position to stretch out this all the fingers. So you can pretty much do it for all your fingers, because likely if you're always using your hands repetitively or for prolonged periods of time, most of your fingers will feel tired. So this is what you will do. I'm going to demonstrate with the right hand again. You will take one of your finger. I'm going to take the index finger, for example, and we're going to bend this finger, holding it, supporting it, bending it. So you're going to be supporting the finger like that, okay? And you're just going to gently bend it backward for a stretch. So once again, I'm going to do it one more time, holding the finger, supporting it, supporting the entire finger, and you are going to just gently bend it backward for a stretch. So when you're stretching, you're going to hold this position for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, you will gently release it and then repeat 2 more times. And you can do something similar or the same with other fingers. So let's do with the third finger this time. I'm going to support the finger and then gently pull it back for a stretch. And you will feel it all the way. So you'll feel all the way, even down into your forearm when you are stretching the finger. Yeah, like so, and hold for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, then you may gently release the finger and repeat 2 more times. So for this stretch, it's always 30 seconds hold, repeat 3 times, and you can do that for all the fingers that you feel tired. And you can also do it for the other hand if you also use your other hand for a lot of the work. Then moving on is the opposite direction. So we've stretched it out in the bending backward direction, but now we need to stretch it out in the opposite direction, which is bending inward. So I'm going to use the right hand to demonstrate again. You will support or take your index finger. I'm going to use the index finger as an example again, and then I will demonstrate with the third finger as well. So take the entire finger again. You hold it a little closer to your main knuckle, and then you will bend it down towards the palm, towards the palm area, and then just gently and hold it for 30 seconds. So after 30 seconds, you can gently release again and then repeat 3 times in total. So I'm going to demonstrate on the third finger again. So hold the finger a little closer to your main knuckle and then just pull it down, bend it downward until you feel a pretty good stretch. Hold it for 30 seconds and then gently release and then repeat 2 more times. So once again, stretching exercise 30 seconds, and you will then repeat 3 times in total for each of the finger that you're going to stretch. Okay, that is the finger flexion stretch. Now we're going to do a claw stretch. So what is a claw stretch? So your hand again, to make a claw, remember the hook position that we talked about? So you're going to go into the hook position, and if you are very stiff, let's say if you're only able to do it like this, then what you're going to do is you're going to use your other hand to try to stretch these fingers into end range. So pulling them into end range, but be gentle. So if you're only able to go into like this position, then just hold it there for 30 seconds and then release, okay? And then try again, try 2 more times, because the next time you do it, it might be a little bit more loosened up. Then you can go a little bit further in and hold for 30 seconds. And then you release again, and then do 1 more time. And this time you may be able to do like a full claw because it had already been loosened up. And then you hold for 30 seconds again. So once again, stretching, 30 seconds hold, 3 times. Then we're gonna move on to doing a ball squeeze exercise. So this ball squeeze exercise actually helps train our intrinsic hand muscles. So all these palm muscles, we are going to strengthen these muscles and also the deeper muscles of the palm of the fingers by doing this ball squeeze exercise. You can use a stress ball to begin. As a beginner, kind of strengthening strength training. But if you're like me, I like to progress my strength training of my hands because for my job, I use my hand daily. I do a lot of manual therapy, so I use my hands a lot, and I would need to train my hands to be stronger for this reason, so I don't get into a problem with trigger finger because of the job I do. So I just purchased, or I just have this resistance ball. This is actually a ball specifically designed to help strengthen intrinsic hand muscle, and the package is like this. So if you guys are interested, you can comment down below, or you can contact me. I will leave all my contact information here, so you guys, if you have any questions and you want to get in touch with me, you may do so. And it just comes into a package like this, and you can see all the different colors at the bottom here. It just indicates the different resistance, and here I have a medium resistance strengthening ball strengthening resistance ball here for me to strengthen my arm. So simply it's like an egg-shaped ball. It fits into my palm perfectly, and I will just grab the ball like so, and what I am going to do is I am going to squeeze this ball and to the palm and hold it for 5 seconds, and then I will release, and then I will repeat this 10 times. So squeeze this ball, and you see all my muscles are coming out. So not just the hand muscles, but I'm actually training my forearm muscles as well as I'm squeezing this ball. Like you can see all my muscles are coming out. And 5 seconds, and then release. So I will repeat this exercise 10 times. Okay, and each time I hold for 5 seconds. Generally, 3 times a day is very good for strengthening if you want to get your forearm strengthened. Okay, so squeeze and hold for 5 seconds. Okay, then our final exercise of the series requires us to use a rubber band like this. It's preferably a rubber band that's a little bit thicker, so then it can give you a little bit more resistance for your strength training. And this time you're going to strengthen your extensors. So these are the back side of your fingers that we're trying to strengthen here. So what you would do is you will loop your rubber band around all 5 of your fingers, and then what you're going to do is you're going to try to expand this rubber loop, and then hold for 5 seconds again, and then release, and then try to expand evenly if you can. Yeah, expand and hold for 5 seconds, and then release again. So you will repeat this 10 times to try to strengthen the back sides, okay, the extensors of your fingers. And again, if you want to get your strength training in, try to do 3 times a day, and each time you will repeat 10 times and for a 5 seconds hold, and use a rubber band to do so. Okay, so that concludes our series of exercise for our hands, fingers, and even for forearm that will help us prevent from getting the trigger finger condition. But once again, these are not your treatment exercises. If you do already have a problem, please go see a therapist, because they will look into your condition in more in-depth, more thorough, and then just to try to figure out what's wrong with you or where you're at in terms of your condition, how bad it is, and then they will devise a more appropriate treatment plan, including a more appropriate exercise protocol to treat your problem. So if you have any questions, please comment down below. And if you like my video, please give me a like. And if you would like to receive further tips on any of the conditions or future health tips, then please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification. And I will see you guys next time.